Okay. Hi, my name is Desmond, and this is Squirt and Toothless. I'm not quite sure if you can see them because it's far, but they are axolotls. I'm not sure if you've ever heard of axolotls, but they are very fun animals. This is their home. They have to have certain water parameters, water temperature, and they're very spoiled, so they get certain foods. Very expensive foods, might I add. But it's all good because they're cute. um, they are very interesting in the way that they are quite, people call them fish, but they do have legs. They're very interesting. If one leg gets cut off, then it will just naturally regenerate because of their regenerative abilities. And today I'm going to show you how I feed these animals. So first I got to take the lid off. I'm not sure, it's very dark now. And they eat Canadian night crawlers. This is my board. So I didn't want to show it because it's very, very gruesome to cut the worms up. But I take the worm, I rinse it off, and then I cut it up into little pieces with scissors. It's very gruesome because they do like to wiggle a bit, but it's fine. You get used to it. This is my Disneyland bucket. This is what I feed them out of, specifically for them. And I use these tongs, and this is like the little worm bucket. I get all my feeding information off of a video from Frankie's Aquatics on YouTube. And the specific video I watched was how much do I feed my axolotls, but she also gives a bit of diet for them. And it was retrieved on March 1st, 2023. And I also get a lot of my feeding information from What Do Axolotls Eat off A to Z Aquatics from I forgot her name, Lex Bausu, um on A to Z Aquatics. So I already got the worms cut up. So I'm just gonna stick it in there. Most of the time they'll come to the top when I'm close to the tank because they are quite hungry all the time. And I do keep a rag on hand because I have to stick my arm in the tank. And there he goes. And you put it right in front of him, and he'll come out. And if they're hungry, they might come and try to get your arm or your hands, but it's all good because it don't hurt. They when they eat, they create a vortex with their mouth. They don't reach out and chomp, but they bring the water into their mouths. So if you just drop it in front of their face, they'll grab it anyway. And just as you pull your arm out, make sure you don't get aquarium water all over your place. So I just use that rag and I just feed them. Oh no. Toothless is a dark color. Same thing with his sand. So he does blend in quite a bit. So I can only really see him when the light's down here. And he's sitting on one of these. So I do have to dig around and try to find him. The squirt's white, so he's very easy to see. I've had squirts for about, it's almost hitting the 2 year mark. I got squirt from a local breeder on Facebook, and I got Toothless. I rescued Toothless from this person that lived in Dunn, so I went and picked Toothless up. And I do like to feed a couple of wax worms to them. They come in this little bucket. You can get them from a pet store, and I just like to feed him because he still hasn't got up to the weight that I quite want him at. And wax worms are very high in fat. Oh, sometimes they'll spit it out just like he did, but he'll go right back and pick it up. There ain't no use in fighting about it for him. And I feed them about 3 worms or until they stop eating. So It takes a couple minutes, but I love them, so I'm gonna do it. They have a more variety of foods than what I'm showing right now. They also eat brine shrimp and um, red worms. Like they're just little red worms. Those are also high in fat. I had Squirt when he was only 3 inches long, so I had to grow him. He's about, let's just say, 6, 7 inches right now, and Toothless is still at that 6 inch mark. And so Squirt was like so little, and this has always been Squirt's tank, so it's very big for a little 3 inch fish. And that's what I was mainly feeding them, was the shrimp and the red worms. And I, since they are so messy, I would take Squirt out every time I fed him. He used to eat every day, but now he only eats every Tuesday and Thursday because he's gained all his weight now. They don't have a fast metabolism. So I would take him and put him in the bucket with a little bit of his tank water. And then I would just, they come in like little cubes, and I would just drop them in there and he would eat. And then I would take this and I would dump it out. And I would put him back in the tank, and I'd fill this up with fresh water and then put some water conditioner in it. It takes all the chlorine and stuff out of the water. And then I would just dump it back in there. For this water, for the worm water, I usually just dump it out. It's hot water, so it dissolves the slime coat off of the worm because Squirt is spoiled and he doesn't like the slime coat on the worm. So I just figured that's what was best for him. I'm gonna feed him a little bit more, and they love to have places to hide. As you can see, they love to sit in this tree right here. I have pieces of driftwood back here, and they like to go under it. And I also, they really like pipes. Like I've had about 4 pipes in here. It's just I spend too much money on these animals, is what I'm trying to say. And that's how I feed my axolotls. Any questions?
Yeah, I
Think
have
you're gonna
one. What
Yes.
like what made you want to like get them? Like how were you introduced to them?
Okay, so it's a long story, but I started off on YouTube. I've had them, I've wanted them for about 5 years, and I finally got them in the past 2. It was just social media, seeing them. I really love fish. Like in my bedroom, I have 2 other tanks, and I also have a leopard gecko. So I just really love animals, and they were really interesting. So every month, just to feed them. Uh, okay, so where did my worm come? These little things of worms. These are American night crawlers. Are they're usually 18 to 20 in a little thing, and they're about $10 because I get them from the Walmart shop. Um, Not too expensive, but it's 18, and I feed them 3 every time I feed them. So I'll probably spend a good $20 to $30 on just night crawlers, and then the wax worms, they're probably $10 as well, but they don't eat the wax worms as much. So it's, I would say, only $10 a month. And then I don't have them on me right now, but the brine shrimp and red worms, they are probably $20 for a package that I only buy once every couple of months. But that's just in food. There's a lot more that goes into this, like chemicals for the water, decorations. I love to redecorate my tanks. I probably had this tank for 2 years, and yeah, 2 years. I've had it between Christmases, and I have probably redecorated this thing because squirt growing, you can put different stuff in the tank. I've probably decorated it about 12 times, like fully redecorating it. And I've kind of accumulated way too many fish tank supplies now. So I don't think I'll ever really need to buy any more decorations because of it.
Yay! That is great. Thank you so much. Are there any other questions? All right. That was wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm going to let our audience go because I know one's in class and one's with her best friend and they're in the car. So you all can leave and thank you so much for being audience members.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
All right. So let's see. So Desmond, if you could stay on, that would be great.
Yes.
All right. So, oh, oops, let me stop it.